I'm going to walk you through the real reason why your content is not converting into sales. Because you could post content and DM people until your fingers turn blue, but if you don't understand and apply what I'm about to share with you, it'll always feel freaking hard to get new clients. And here's why. You're saying the wrong words in your content in DMs. And it makes it very unclear how you're different, so your audience gets confused. You see, most online fitness coaches and business owners in general think the reason why they can't keep their sales calls on their calendar is because they need a better lead gen strategy, or they need to just do more volume. So they post more content, they run more paid ads, they even maybe hire more VAs to try to book calls for them. And let's just be honest, if you've been doing these things, you've tried running challenges, you've tried posting more content, you're DMing a lot of people, you're doing all these things, then you've already proven that those don't work. Because the truth is, the real problem is that your messaging, meaning the words that you're using, doesn't match what your market wants to hear. So it doesn't convert. It'd be like if I went to China and I was trying to order food and I only speak English. It won't work. It'll just be frustrating for me and for the person that's trying to take my order because they don't understand English. But if I spoke Chinese, then magically I can order Chinese food. It's like mind-blowing, right? Your marketing is no different. You have to say the right words and then plug those words into a strategic content plan. Once I understood this, I went from struggling to keep calls booked on my calendar to always feeling freaking stressed out about trying to get clients and money to having people constantly reaching out to me asking to get on a call. And this made enrolling clients feel like more of an attraction process versus like this constant like I'm fighting this uphill battle all the time. And I finally understood how to get it all to come to me, to get the people reaching out to me, to get calls on my calendar, to have consistent income. And then I knew why nothing I was doing before was working. Like, nothing. And it ultimately led me discovering what I now teach, which is this content messaging matrix. Because knowing how to say the right words to influence the right people is awesome. But knowing is only half the battle. The other half is actually doing the correct steps to get more calls on your calendar and to get more cash coming into your business. Because if you say the right words but you don't do anything else, then it doesn't really matter. But the truth is this, like, if you don't have a proven system that gets people to DM you and has your perfect prospects anxiously waiting to book a call with you, you will never be an in-demand coach in your niche or your sub-niche. Right? This is why I've developed what I now call the organic growth system from these principles. Like one of our clients, Patty, for example, when she first came to me, she was like, I can't remember the exact revenue range she was bouncing, but it was under 10K. And she was like bouncing between like, I think 5 and 8K or something like that. And she had hired like gurus and they told her to run ads. And she was running ads and they said to DM 50 people a day. And so she was DMing 50 people a day. And I think she maybe even tried hiring a VA agency before. And I remember her saying like, Jason, I just need relief from DMs. I just need an easier lead gen strategy. I just need something to take it off. So if you've ever felt like, and by the way, so when she applied this system, and I'll walk you through some of the steps here in just a second. When she applied this, I want to say that like within like a couple weeks, she had sold a $1,500 weight loss package. She serves women in weight loss. And then I want to say like maybe a couple days later, she sold a $2,000 one. And I believe that's where her program is now, is around $2,000 for I think 90 days or something like that. I don't remember the exact specifics right at the second. But now she's pretty much routinely selling $2,000 fitness program. And this led her to being able to have a record month of, and this is all within just a handful of months, of $21,500 cash collected in her business. And it was all from just applying the system. And so here's some of the major steps that you have to do. So I'll kind of walk through what I do with Patty and what I do for most people when I work with them. And so you can kind of apply and iterate these things yourself if you want to. Is the first thing I do is I call it a magic messaging makeover because it's essentially what it is. I blow up people's messaging. When people come to me, they're like, I think my messaging might be good. I'm like, okay, let me look at it. right? Because if you're not getting calls booked consistently and you're not at 20 to 30K per month right now, it's a pretty fat chance that your messaging isn't actually, the words that you're saying aren't resonating with people. Otherwise, you would already have like more conversions. You would already be there. And so when I look at it, I blow up their messaging completely. And I throw out the words that don't work, and then you got to keep the words that do work. And then sometimes there's a lot of refinement around those words, right? And so words, they have to resonate with what your audience wants. They have to hit the deep psychological buying triggers within your audience. They have to hit the emotional triggers here, right? They have to influence and shift people's perspectives out of the old way that they're thinking, out of the limiting beliefs that they're believing, that the mistakes that they're currently making, or they don't think they're mistakes, but the actions they're taking that aren't leading them there. And then you got to shift them into what you believe to be true, what you know to be true, right? And so I pretty much blow up people's messaging. Then I reassemble the words so that way they could say the right words in the right order, in the right way, to the right people. And this will automatically start getting more of the right engagement on any of the content that they're already putting out. Whether it's content, ads, in their DMs, on sales calls, anytime they're using words, it makes it just convert better. So that's step number one, right, in the system. So step number two is then you take those words and you plug them into a strategic content distribution system. Not a content distribution system, a strategic one. Because if you're just posting and praying, yes, you'll produce more sales just by fixing the words, making sure that the words match with what your market wants to hear. But if you actually want to produce consistent clients and get calls booked on your calendar on a regular basis, then you want to have a strategic distribution system. And quite simply, you want to have a mix of, I was going to say a mix of short form and long form. And yes, that's true. But you want to have, better said is you want to have a mix of videos and written, right? And you have to have long form this day and age. For most people, video is going to be like the best way to go for their long form, like content like this, like long form video. Could be YouTube videos. It could be live trainings in your Facebook or Facebook group, whatever, right? There could be Zoom workshops. There's multiple ways you can go about it, but the point is there's a study that was done that showed an average person needs to watch at 7 hours of content, or consume. They didn't say watch. It was consume 7 hours of content before they're ready to make a purchasing decision. And so, and I think the study was for like $500 to $1,000 purchase. So if you're selling more than that, it's at least 7 hours. And so like people that just post short form content, dude, they struggle because how much content somebody has to watch? How 7 hours of 30-second videos? Good luck. Good freaking luck. Somebody's reading a minute post here and there. That's why that's why I teach this whole like what I call conversion content campaigns. You lead people with your content through the right hooks, the right call to actions. You lead them to watch a long form video, long form piece of content, and they'll convert. And then when I'm working with my students, the work that we do is we structure their content right? We make sure that they're plugging in the right words in their videos and all that stuff so that the words they say make people convert. It influences and persuades people to convert into customers, into clients. That's the key, right? So step one is you got to make over your messaging. Step two is plug those words into a strategic content distribution system. And then step three is what I call cash conversions, client cash conversions, because that's ultimately what it's designed to do, right? And this is going to be a mix. I have like a short-term way, a medium-term way, and a long-term way to do this that involves like DMs, which, by the way, when you do all of this stuff, you will get people reaching out to you, asking you for help. Like when you say the right words in the right way to the right people, you will get people reaching out to you. This is how you know it's working. And then when you use content, like when you plug that stuff into strategic content, you will get people DMing you. Like that's how you know it's working. So if you're like, man, I don't know if it's working. Well, it's not working if you don't have steps 1 and 2 down, quite frankly. And so, but once you have those down, the message, your messaging and your content do the heavy lifting for your marketing, and then just the DMs are relatively straightforward because you're just answering questions for people and qualifying if they're a good fit. You book them onto a consultation call, or what you might call a sales call. And if they're a good fit, you make them an offer. Relatively straightforward. And then the long-term ways, you want to have strategic nurturing. So you got to be able to nurture people through content, right? We use something called a mini video sales letter. We also have other strategic content that I do personally, and I teach people what to do. But like having a mini video sales letter and having strategic content that you can nurture them. And again, the word nurture doesn't mean to like provide fake value. It means to care for and encourage the growth and development of. So when you have content that does that, and then you have simple DM scripts that you could follow up with people over the long term, you're going to constantly increase your conversions. So it's a nice little flywheel, if you will. So my friend, that's it. If you're the real reason that your content is not booking sales calls, not converting into new clients and sales, despite posting a lot of content, maybe DMing people, running challenges, maybe running ads, hiring VAs, hiring agencies, whatever the stuff that you're doing, and you're like beating your head against the wall, being like, why isn't this working? It's like, it's always us. It's our responsibility, right? But it's like, it's because your messaging, the words that you're saying aren't freaking working. If they were, it would work. It's like they would work if the words worked. And so the words that you're saying, you're not saying the right words in the right way to the right people in the right order, and therefore it's not converting. And so when you fix the words, right, when you say the right words in the right way to the right people, you plug that into the right content, strategic content, and then you have a way to convert people, it's relatively simple. It becomes a lot easier to make this happen. Let's just be real. Like, growing a business is hard work. Let's not like cut around the bush here. It's like there's no like magic or easiness, but by you doing these things, it's just going to make your life in acquiring clients a heck of a lot easier. So if you found this video helpful, by the way, I'm going to be doing a full in-depth live training on this. So if you want to see the full training that I'm doing on this process, I'm going to be sharing screens, going through examples, the whole ordeal, going through my transition, my story, so you can kind of see how I've done this in real life. If you want to see that, if you want to be there, if you want to attend, then you can either drop in the comments, just say workshop, just put workshop in the comments. I might have a link in the description. I'm not sure you could look and see if there's one in there to click. But I will walk you through this full freaking process to make it hopefully easier for you to kind of grasp and be able to apply so you can get those results in real time. And if you found this video helpful, you better freaking click subscribe, man. Click subscribe right now and leave a comment. Let me know what your number one takeaway was from today. I'd love to hear it. And as always, man, remember, your message, the words that you say in your soul, in your heart, they matter. They help people. And so don't be afraid to speak them. As always, be seen, be heard, and be impactful.